Hello again guys, it's Johnny time and welcome to another decentralized finance tutorial. Today we are going to speak about the huge Poly Network exploit, Poly Network hack. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but 1 week ago a hacker exploited a critical exploit in two smart contracts in Poly Network protocol, and he stole $600 million in different coins, in different three blockchains, in Polygon, Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain. So in this video, we're gonna cover what happened in the exploit. We're gonna dive deep into technical stuff a little bit, not too deep, and we're gonna see a super interesting conversation that happened between the attacker to Poly Network and between the attacker to random people over the transactions. Yes, you hear it right. Over transactions, the attacker spoke with people by sending Unicode data, text on the transaction. This is super interesting, so stay tuned and watch this video until the end. But before we start, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the bell notification button, so anytime I post super interesting videos like this, you can watch them as soon as possible. So let's get back into business, and now we are here on Polygon Poly Network website. So this is basically Poly Network website. Before we start to talk about the exploit, we need to understand what is Poly Network. So the problem is that we have a lot of blockchains and a lot of currencies. For example, we have Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, and we have Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain, and we have Binance Smart Chain, and we have Polychain, and we have Terra Luna, and we have Cardano, and so on. Too many blockchains. And what happens when you want to communicate or do a transaction that is cross blockchain? It's not possible these days. That's why we use pegged tokens. For example, we have wrapped BTC on Ethereum, and we have wrapped BNB, and we use bridges to bridge tokens from one chain to another. But there is this kind of next generation which is called cross chain protocol or cross chain network, and this is what Poly Network is. Basically, it's a set of smart contracts on different chains, on Polygon, on Binance, on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, doesn't matter which chain it is, and it's smart contracts that communicate with each other using oracles. We're not going to get too in-depth how it works, because this is a huge subject for another tutorial. But what I want you to understand that this is basically a cross-chain protocol, which means it connects different blockchains together. It has smart contracts on these kind of different blockchains, and these contracts are communicating with each other, and there is a way to do transactions which are cross-chain. So this is the website, this is the main website of Poly Network, realizing blockchain, building the next generation internet. They explain who we are. Poly Network is built to implement interoperability between multiple chains in order to build the next generation internet infrastructure, authorized blah 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 blah. This is exactly what I explained to you. So it's basically they explain what is Poly Network, what is this protocol, and they suffer from a huge exploit. Their smart contracts were not secure enough, and a hacker basically exploited it to steal all the tokens. So this is their Twitter accounts, and actually in the Twitter accounts you can see that they share updates about the exploit, about the ongoing progress. So all the updates exist here. For example, you have a lot of articles that they post. They offer bug bounties to the hacker and to other hackers that will basically help them find bugs in their smart contracts and exploits that can lead to the same exploit or different ones that will enable attackers to steal tokens. Actually, the hacker that stole these $600 million eventually returned most of the funds, almost everything. It's a white hat hacker. What is white hat hackers? Basically hackers that hack systems in order to improve the security of the system and not for their own benefit. This is black hat hackers that basically hack things in order to benefit themselves or to make some kind of harm. White hat hackers, on the other side, they do things to help the community to make it more secure. There is some kind of argue, which is maybe this kind of thing considered gray hat hacking, which is somewhere between white hat and Black Hat, because this guy did not tell about what he's gonna do. He didn't get any permission for Poly Network, but this is another conversation for another video. White hat hackers, black hat hackers, gray hat hackers, and all the ethics behind these kind of things. So the hacker eventually returned most of the funds to Poly Network using a multi-sig wallet. Not all the funds, but most of them, but he's planning to return all of them, actually. So this is basically the Twitter account, and actually you can see right here a status that they posted. A very interesting status that where they actually say, we are sorry to announce that Poly Network was attacked on Binance Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon on 3 different blockchains. Assets had been transferred to hackers following addresses ETH and BSC. So here they post the ETH and BSC, and later on they asked for the miners. In Ethereum it's more complicated because it's more decentralized. On Binance Smart Chain it's more simple. In Polygon it's more simple because it's less decentralized. And also in Tether, basically they asked to freeze the token and freeze the funds, so the hacker will not be able to use them or to mix them and to make them disappear in a way that they will not be restorable. So Tether actually blocked it. But let's move on. Let's take a look at a technical tutorial where this is basically a technical tutorial that explains about the exploit in this kind of 2 smart contracts on Poly Network. We are not gonna get very into the tutorial because it will be too technical and you need a lot of understanding and knowledge in solidity and blockchains in order to understand how it happens, and we don't have these fundamentals right now. But let's try to understand just from a high level what happened. So this is an intro. They basically explain what is crypto, what is DeFi, what are smart contracts right here, what is cross-chain network, which is basically what I just explained you. Poly Network is a cross-chain network. Let's scroll down a little bit, and now they talk about the hack. So the hack is very, very recent. It was on 10th August. From this time of recording, it's 1 week ago, and $610 million has been stolen. And here they basically explain what happened in the hack. So actually the hack involved 2 Poly smart contracts. The first one is ETH cross-chain manager, and the second one is ETH cross-chain data. So basically the ETH cross-chain data is the owner of ETH's cross-chain manager. So by compromising the ETH cross-chain data, the attack involved these 2 smart contracts. It can actually control the ETH cross-chain manager, and by controlling the ETH cross-chain manager contract, it actually has access to all the funds in all 3 blockchains, because it's the same smart contracts that connects between these 3 chains, and that's how he was able to have access to all these funds and withdraw them directly from the safes to his wallet. Let's scroll down a bit, and it's super technical. I don't want to get deep about the transaction and the functions that got exploited. Maybe we'll do it another time. Yeah, this is very, very technical explanation. Let's jump into the wallet. So here, right here, we can see these 3 different wallets of the hacker from these 3 chains. The first one will be Ethereum, the second one is Binance Smart Chain, and the third one will be on Polygon. So this is Etherscan, BSC Scan, and Polygon Scan. Basically, this is the website that enables you to track all the transactions and all the blocked and addresses on these kind of chains. So this is these 3 addresses and 3 wallets of the attacker that where he stole the funds to his wallet. Don't worry, all the links that you see here, I will put them in the description so you can take a look and do later on, look at it and do the investigation yourself. So this is the first wallet. This is actually the Ethereum wallet, and let's take a look what happened right there. So if we change here to ERC20 token transactions and we click here view all, basically this view will show us all the different transfer that happened from this wallet out and from another wallet into this wallet. So I'm going to go to the last transaction, and this is actually the first transaction. You can see 8 days ago, 99 hours ago, you can see a transaction of 96.389 million USDC tokens. This is the first transaction that has been stolen. A lot of almost 100 million USDC token from the smart contract to the Poly Network exploiter wallet. The second one was another 1032 wrapped BTC. This is wrapped BTC. It's basically Bitcoin tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. So another 1032 Bitcoins. Let's do 1 to T BTC to USD. Let's see how much it is. Around $47 million in Bitcoin, and then another 670k DAI tokens. DAI token is a stable coin. It's equivalent to $1. And let's go to the next page. What do we see here? So on the next page, we can see that another 43,000 uni tokens has been stolen. Another 259 billion Shiba tokens, RAN BTC, another 32 million USDT. Look how much money the attacker is basically just droning and withdrawing from the Poly Network smart contracts because he found this kind of exploit to his own wallet, and another 26,000 wrapped ETH, which is like Ethereum tokens. Let's see how much it is in dollars. ETH to USD. So yeah, why does not want to calculate it? ETH to USD. Okay, let's look at this website. It's around $81 million, additional $81 million, and another USD 600k. So there you go. This is all the funds that have been stolen. If we accumulate it together, it's around 200 something million dollars, if I'm not wrong, maybe a bit more. It doesn't really matter, but you can see actually this is the beautiful thing about blockchains, and it's open, and you can see every single transactions, and this is crazy. You can see all the funds that have been transferred from the Poly Network smart contract into the attacker and the exploiter. And let's move on to BSC scan. BSC scan. Now let's take a look at the exploit on the Binance Smart Chain. It's the same exploit as I told you before. Poly Network is a cross-chain platform, so the same exploit has been used to withdraw all the tokens on the different chains. It was cross-chain attack, and this is why it's the biggest DeFi attack that happened. The most amount of money has stolen, and it involved 3 different blockchains at the same time. This is a huge event, and by learning this, you're basically learning the history of DeFi, the history of decentralization, the history of crypto. So watch till the end. This is super interesting. We didn't get into the messages part yet. This is the even more interesting part. So again, I'm going to back token transaction, going to last, and just the same here. We can see here $87 million of USDC tokens, another 26,629 ethers, another 1,023 bitcoins, wrapped Bitcoin peg tokens, another 32 BUSD dollars, and another 298 USDC tokens. So another, I think, how much is it? That's a lot. That's another 200 million, I guess. So I think in every chain he stole around $200 million in Binance Smart Chain, in Ethereum chain, and now let's go into Polygon chain, right? So we are not done because he stole some tokens from Polygon chain as well. Let's take a look how much he stole from Polygon chain. We're scrolling down all here, and again 85 million USDC tokens. That's it. 85 million. That's it, not more. Just to 85 USDC, 85 US dollars on Polygon chain. So I think it was around 300 millions on Polygon, another 300 millions on Ethereum, and another around $100 million on Polygon chain. That's the amount of the attacker that the attacker actually stole. So now the next cool thing that I want to show you here that are hiding inside the transaction is actually the messages. I don't know if you're familiar with transactions and how it works. Basically, we can send transaction and attach a message to it. So basically, people communicated with the attacker through that transaction, which is super cool and super interesting. So now we are going back into the Ethereum wallet on the Ethereum blockchain of the attacker. And if you remember, you see here, the attacker stole around 33.5 million USDT tokens, which is a lot of USDT tokens. So this blockchain is more centralized and it's more easier to freeze the funds. So some random wallet basically warned the attacker and sent him transaction. Dude, listen, your USDT tokens might get blacklisted, so transfer them and convert them as much as possible to other tokens before they freeze your tokens. Let's take a look of this transaction, and we're scrolling. We need to go back into the wallet again, and we will go into transactions, view all the transactions, go to last, the first one, and this is actually the wallet that warned the attacker. So this transaction came like maybe several hours after the attack happened, maybe 4 hours. This is the wallet that sent it, and let's take a look. Now I'm gonna get into the transaction. Let's see what he wrote to the attacker. So I click here to see more, and this is the data. You can see that he basically sent 0 Ether. He didn't send Ether, he just sent a message, and we're gonna decode it into UTF, and he just basically told him, do not use your USDT token, you got blacklisted. So he tells him, don't use the USDT token, you got blacklisted. He warns the attacker. And right after, so this was in 1:50, and around, let's take a look, yeah, around 30 minutes later, the attacker actually rewards the one who won him with around 13.37 Ethers, which is equivalent to around $50,000. So the attacker actually sent a bounty, a reward to someone that warned him that he forgot that he is not supposed to use USDT because he got blacklisted and the token might get frozen. And let's see if he attached a message to this kind of transaction. No, he basically did not attach any message, but he just sent this kind of Ether tokens into the attacker, which is around $40,000. So this is the first cool thing that I wanted to show you about this kind of thing. Another cool thing that I wanted to show you is actually this one. A very interesting conversation with a random person. So let's take a look at this wallet. This wallet actually is sent a transaction to the Poly Network exploiter. So let's look at this transaction and see more and decode as UTF-8. You have successfully completed your red team assignment. You have proven that 600 million are insecure in the way they are stored. Incompetence is now trying to being hidden. You are talking to a professional negotiator who is getting paid to give you a very little, to intimidate and to make you feel guilty. The things they are working are wording and intimidation, trying to hide their fault. And here you can see this. He posted an image. Let's take a look at the image. So this is an image that shows some kind of news website, and here you can see I was after 500K as a thank you bounty for pilfering 600 million from Poly Network, says CryptoDiff. And actually this is what happened before. So Poly Network asked the hacker, they told him, all right, you did it. We are very sorry for the security hole. Thank you so much for exploiting it, but now please bring back the funds, and you can also reveal yourself. We will not charge you anything, we will not make a lawsuit against you, but on the other side, we're gonna give you a bounty of $500,000, and we want you to be our chief security, our main security manager in Poly Network. So they offered him a bounty and to be the manager of all the security of Poly Network, and he actually refused. He didn't want it, he didn't want to bounty, he actually wanted to give it out to the community, and we will see now the reply of the attacker. You should aim to no less than 1% or at least 4 million pounds. So this is the random person who's sending the message to the attacker, telling him basically, listen dude, don't negotiate with them, they're gonna bring you down, they're just trying to cover themselves up, to make excuses. Don't take this $500K that they offer you. You deserve much more. And let's see what the attacker actually replied to him. So we're gonna go back, and this is actually the reply. You can see Polygon Network exploiter to the same address that sent him the transaction. So after 3 hours, the attacker replies. Let's scroll down and let's see what he replies. UTF-8. Thanks for your sincere advice. You are 99% correct. This is the attacker writing back to the anonymous person who sent him the message. Correct about the story, but you are missing the key point. You don't know me. Money means little to me. Some people are paid to hack. I would rather pay for the fun. I'm considering taking the bounty as a bonus for public hackers. If they can hack the Poly network, they can win double if they feel the current plan is awkward. So actually Poly network, after the hack, they released a plan and they probably worked 24/7 because it was crazy in order to upgrade a new version of Poly network without the exploit to fix all the security problems. So here it talks about their awkward solution that they offered. If the Poly don't give the imaginary bounty as everybody expects, I have well enough budget to let the show go on. Just some funny thoughts, but I may probably make them come true. If you are still confused, ask some richer friends, what is money for? So this is philosophy, some interesting words from the hacker who now have access to $600 million that's stolen thanks to a DeFi bug. And eventually he gave it back. So what he's saying here is not bullshit. He really does not care about the money. He just wanted to show something here. I trust some of their code. I would praise the overall design of the project, but I never trust the whole Poly team. So this is very interesting what attacker just saying here. My only guilty was triggered from the refugees. So all the refugees, all the people that their money got stolen, but not the Poly team. He doesn't feel sorry about the Poly team. All of my actions were determined since I made the final decision to be the eternal. I'm a little bit surprised that you call them professional negotiators. Just look at their tense and repetitive words. If the Poly really got my initial idea, they could be less embarrassed. I published the request so that they got the chance to be a winner. Who do you think is dominating the game? So this is the attacker. This is amazing actually that this kind of things happen on the blockchain. This is super interesting. I will put all the links in the description below. And I hope you like this kind of videos, and I hope this drama is gonna go on, because this is how we're gonna evolve together on DeFi. And yeah, so here you can see some articles. This is like 1 week ago, 1 day after. So the attacker started giving back the funds. So you can see that, let's take a look. So he gave back 10,000 USDC, and then he returned another $1.1 million in BTCB, and in Ethereum blockchain he returned 600K of Phi token and another 2 million Shiba tokens. So yeah, and this is another article 2 days ago, 16th of August, and you can see that the attacker actually returning more funds. So that's about it. This is the actually story about the Poly network and what happened. I hope you guys like it, and actually the attacker returned most of the funds and he just wanted to show something, show a point. And this is super interesting. I just discovered all these kind of things today, and I had to share it with you guys because this is the journey that we are going through together. I'm now learning Solidity more in depth. I'm a developer and I'm getting more into blockchain research and Solidity and Polygon chain and Binance Smart chain and Ethereum chain, and together we're gonna go through this journey together, and I'm super excited. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you have any questions about this Poly network hack. If you have any suggestions about other content that you want me to put out and make videos about, I will really appreciate it. And please smash the like button so YouTube will expose my channel and these kind of videos to more and more people. And of course, if you like this video, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button, and tell your friends about Johnny Time Finance, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.